Before we dive in, take a moment right now to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a remarkable coin story that could change the way you see the change in your pocket. Have you ever held a tiny coin and felt it whisper to you? Not just its weight, but its past. A coin can travel further in history than most people do in a lifetime. Today, we're talking about a single 1-cent piece from Eswatini, formerly Swaziland, dated 1986. At first glance, it might seem ordinary small, copper-colored, hardly worth a second thought. But if you look closer, if you understand what history has done to this coin, you'll see a story worth listening to. And by the end of this video, you'll discover a value figure that might make you sit up straight. Let's begin with the place this coin comes from, Eswatini. Many of you might remember this country by its former name, Swaziland. Nestled in southern Africa, it's a kingdom rich in culture, tradition, and royal heritage. A land where ancient customs live side by side with modern life. And in 1986, when this coin was struck, Eswatini was asserting its identity, its sovereignty, and its voice in a world that often overlooks small nations. Coins are more than currency. They are miniature flags of identity. They carry symbols, names, dates, messages that a country sends into the future. The 1-cent coin of Eswatini is no exception. On one side, it bears the effigy of the monarch, the king of Eswatini, an emblem of continuity and authority. That's a face that connects you immediately to the leadership of a nation. To a king walking among his people. On the other side, simple as it may appear, are images and motifs that echo the everyday life and values of Eswatini, its agriculture, its commitment to community, its respect for tradition. Now, coins from large countries like the United States or Britain have huge production numbers. But in a smaller nation like Eswatini, fewer coins were made, especially in certain years. And with size comes scarcity. Scarcity brings attention. And where attention grows, so does collectability. Let's talk about the year 1980s. This was a year when the world felt a different rhythm before digital wallets, before instant transactions. People still relied on the jingling sound of coins in their pockets. In Eswatini, life was lived in the heartbeat of community markets, face-to-face trade, and constant motion of currency. A coin minted then survived decades of use, thousands of hands, and countless transactions. That survival alone begins to separate the ordinary from the rare. Collectors are not just hunters of metal. They are historians, storytellers, and guardians of memory. And they look for specific traits in coins that make them worthy of their shelves and their wallets. The first thing a collector notices is condition. A coin untouched by years of circulation, no scratches, no faded edges, no corrosion, is like finding a time capsule. It's worth much more than a worn piece that has been tossed in a drawer or jar for years. You might be thinking, it's just a 1-cent coin. How valuable could it be? And that's exactly why this story gets powerful. Because value in numismatics coin collecting is not dictated by face value. A coin worth 1 cent could be worth far more based on rarity, condition, historical significance, and collector demand. Over time, many coins are lost, damaged, or melted down. Children play with them. They fall through sofa cushions. They disappear. The best examples, those that remain in mint or near mint condition, become rare survivors. And scarcity in good condition is the heartbeat of value in this world. Let's picture it: the gentleman in his late 50s or early 60s, someone who remembers the world before digital transactions, picks up this coin. He remembers cash in hand, buying groceries with his own currency, feeling the weight of every cent. For him, this coin carries not just the image of Eswatini, but the echo of a time when money was tangible, real, and personal. That connection to the past, to memory, is something this audience deeply understands. Now imagine that same coin, tucked away properly by someone who recognized its potential early on. Stored away, preserved, kept safe. 50 years pass. Many look at it, but few understand its story. And then a collector sees it. A real collector, the kind who travels, studies, networks, and knows what he wants. He sees the mint year, the pristine condition, the story behind it, and his interest ignites. Coins like these begin to catch the attention of elite collectors across the world. Not just in Europe or America, but in Africa, Asia, and beyond. Serious collectors communicate privately, trade discreetly, and value pieces that are historically significant and visually exceptional. This is where our 1986 Eswatini 1 cent begins to make waves. Now, rarity alone doesn't always guarantee high prices. It must be coupled with demand. And here's the fascinating part: modern coin collecting is a global phenomenon. It's not limited by borders anymore. A coin from a small African kingdom can capture interest from collectors in Asia, Europe, and North America. Because what a collector seeks is authenticity, history, and scarcity. Coins like this also carry a deeper meaning. They remind us of a world before cryptocurrencies and digital payments. They remind us of the days when money was a physical companion to our lives. When you saved coins in a jar and watched them accumulate. When every cent mattered. Especially for the mature audience who lived through currency transitions, inflation, economic shifts, this coin is symbolic. It represents value that is both monetary and emotional. For example, a coin that is still crisp, with clear detail and without wear, that is a rare find. Most coins from 1986 have been used and show the signs of life they lived through. Finding one that looks almost new is like finding a letter from the past, perfectly preserved. And collectors will pay premiums for such quality. As the years go on, collectors continue to refine their standards. They study minting records, they compare specimens, they seek out the finest examples. Some coins become legendary not because they were made in huge numbers, but because so few have survived in top condition, and this is where the story grows even more compelling. Our 1 cent coin from 1986, Eswatini, when found in extraordinarily preserved condition, with sharp detail and breathtaking surfaces, has drawn intense interest behind the scenes. Serious collectors, private buyers, coin societies, they all recognize the coin's historical essence and scarcity, and now, after decades, after hundreds of auctions and private sales shaping the upper limits of what collectors are willing to pay, this coin has achieved something remarkable. In rare, exceptional condition, it has garnered attention with documented values reaching up to $600,000. That number is not about everyday coins. It's about the pinnacle of numismatic rarity. The very best examples can command astonishing figures from private collectors who understand the story and invest based on rarity, condition, and historical weight. When you look at this coin again, think about more than its face value. Think about its journey from a mint in Eswatini, into circulation, through decades of history, surviving to be discovered now by collectors with deep passion and deep pockets. That journey is what gives it value that far exceeds its 1 cent origin. So the next time you come across an old coin, remember that every piece of metal carries a story. Some stories are quiet, unremarkable. Others speak to history, passion, and rarity. And the most powerful stories, like that of the 1986 Eswatini 1 cent, can change everything you thought you knew about value. Value is not always what you see. Sometimes it's what you discover. And thank you for watching. Stay curious, keep exploring, and never underestimate the coins in your hand.